First, we told you about potentially deadly worms invading Southwest Florida. Tonight, giant snails are also posing a serious danger to the environment. These exotic snails not only threaten birds, animals, and plants, but they can also pose a risk to people as well. 4 New Corner's Mike Mason finding hundreds of these snails in a popular Fort Myers park. Mike?
Yeah, a decade ago, these giant snails were only spotted in one location in northern Florida. Now they're invading every place that has water, and wildlife officials are urging you to help prevent them and report every single sighting.
They are an exotic species.
And this exotic snail species slowly slithered its way across the state of Florida for the past 10 years. Originally from South America, they're now creating havoc throughout the globe.
I've seen them in literally hundreds of ponds all across South Florida. I don't think this issue is going to go away very, very soon or very easily unless we spend a considerable amount of money on it. Besides that, I don't think they pose a tremendous threat to human beings unless they're eaten as escargot. They may carry parasites that cause problems.
We found hundreds of these giant snails at Linear Park in Fort Myers.
Ones you noticed are actually called channeled apple snails. And they're called channeled apple snails because they actually have a deep groove in the shell.
Roy Beckford is an agricultural agent in Lee County, working with the University of Florida. 10 years ago, the channeled apple snail had only been seen one time in northern Florida. Now they're popping up everywhere.
This is what a regular snail looks like. Compare that to the giant snail, and you get a real sense of the size. And you can crush these guys all you want to, but it doesn't really matter. There's no snail inside. You really have to look for the eggs.
Unlike the native Florida apple snail, channeled snails lay pink eggs, and destroying them is the best way to keep their numbers down. The more of these snails we have, the less food there could be for you and I.
In fact, they were introduced into Southeast Asia years ago and devastated rice fields and taro fields.
These snails also threaten our native wildlife. That alone could crush our local ecosystem.
They compete with them for food, and as a consequence, they cause problems that way.
In Southeast Asia, people actually did eat these snails, but the parasites made them very sick. And remember, if you see these snails or their bright pink eggs, you're urged to contact Florida Fish and Wildlife. In the studio, Mike Mason, Fox 4, in your corner.
All right.